Hi, my name is Zachary Ferguson, and I'll be presenting Can Natural Gas Be the New Fuel for Transportation? Natural gas is a naturally occurring hydrocarbon gas mixture consisting mostly of methane, but can commonly contain higher alkanes. Natural gas forms when layers of decomposing biological matter exposed to high temperatures and pressures over long periods of time, and is normally found underground or could form from methanogenic microbes through anaerobic digestion. Natural gas is a non-renewable resource as a fossil fuel and is primarily used as a source of energy for heating, electrical generation, and for transportation. As a fuel for transportation, natural gas can come in two different forms. The first form being compressed natural gas. Compressed natural gas is essentially highly pressurized natural gas. In order for the gas to be used as a fuel, the gas must be pressurized to approximately 3,000 psi. The other type of fuel is liquefied natural gas. Unlike compressed natural gas, this fuel is supercooled to approximately negative 162 degrees Celsius at low pressures. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, there are roughly 150,000 natural gas vehicles currently being used in the United States. Although there are only 1,300 compressed natural gas filling stations, there has been seen an increase in the gas-powered vehicles themselves, such as through buses or trucks. There are three different types of natural gas vehicles: dedicated, biofuel, and dual fuel. Dedicated gas vehicles run solely on compressed natural gas. The second type, biofuel vehicles, run on two separate fueling systems that can either run on natural gas or gasoline. The last type is called a dual fuel vehicle. Usually these kinds of vehicles are limited to only heavy-duty applications and have fuel systems that run on natural gas but can use diesel for ignition assistance. The most common type of natural gas vehicle uses compressed natural gas but can use liquefied. The issue with liquefied natural gas, it requires an expensive cryogenic tank to safely store the supercooled liquid. As with gasoline, compressed natural gas mixes with air within the engine cylinders and is then ignited using a spark plug. The combustion causes the pistons to move and ultimately propel the vehicle. But with the basic similarities with gasoline as a fuel, there are special modifications the vehicle must go through in order to run. Since compressed natural gas has a higher octane rating than gasoline, the compression ratio must increase in order to run. Additional modifications include special pistons, fuel injectors, and strengthened connecting rods as well as a strengthened crankshaft. These modifications can although become very costly, which can be a huge deterrent for people. This leads to the advantages and disadvantages of using a natural gas vehicle. Some key advantages include safety, efficiency, and familiarity. Using natural gas as a fuel allows for a safer vehicle, for which, since natural gas is technically lighter than air, the gas upon an accident, and if the fuel leaks, the gas will ultimately dissipate in the air. It is more efficient because although gasoline and natural gas vehicles run approximately the same fuel mileage, it costs less to fill up a tank of compressed natural gas. Another advantage would be the familiarity. There essentially is no difference in driving between a natural gas vehicle and a regular gasoline vehicle. With these advantages, there are in fact disadvantages though. These disadvantages include limited driving ranges, fueling stations, variety of choice in vehicles, and also a more expensive vehicle overall. Compared to gasoline vehicles, the variety of choice is much more limited. Another disadvantage would be the driving range. Approximately, the driving range of a natural gas vehicle is 100 miles less than the conventional gasoline car. And finally, the last disadvantage, the overall expense for purchasing a car. Roughly, it is approximately $5,000 more expensive than compared to a regular conventional gasoline car. Depending on how you evaluate these advantages and disadvantages, natural gas could be a viable option as an alternate fuel source. Thanks.